Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Victoria police release video in a deadly hit-and-run investigation. Plus, police arrest a former educator for alleged crimes against a student. And Victoria County deputies share important holiday travel reminders.
Well, those spotty showers actually showed up and rolled through the Crossroads region. We'll talk about that, plus the fog and the warmer conditions coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. Victoria police are sharing new information about the hit and run that killed a 17-year-old boy. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting is live at the scene where that crash happened. And Trenton, what is the latest?
Less than an hour ago, Victoria police released video on that deadly hit and run incident last Wednesday night here on South Lorenz Street and Pleasant Green Drive. Dennis Lee Richardson Jr. was killed last Wednesday night while riding his bike north on South Lorenz Street, heading home from work. And in the video Victoria police released, about 25 seconds later, you see two vehicles pass through the same area. And investigators believe those drivers may have seen something important related to this incident. If you were in the 2700 block of South Lorenz on 1120 on the night of December 17th, police want to hear from you. You can contact Crime Stoppers anonymously, and it could lead to a cash reward. The family also released some video that they gave to us at 25 News Now that may show some audio of the collision when Dennis was hit by the vehicle, and you can go ahead and take a listen. Is it good? The video also shows several vehicles in the area at the time of the sound, and the family is begging anyone who was in the area or who saw something to come forward. Now, this investigation is still active. We reached out to VPD yesterday, and they don't have a suspect vehicle in mind just yet, but they're hoping anyone who sees the video or was in the area at that time can come forward with some information so they can move the investigation forward. Reporting live, Trenton Whiting, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
A former Rockport Fulton ISD educator is under investigation, accused of an inappropriate relationship with a student. Rockport police started investigating on December 17th, later getting arrest warrants for 41-year-old Joshua Lee Nguyen of Rockport. Nguyen is facing 2 felony charges: improper relationship between an educator and student and sexual assault of a child. Nguyen left Rockport Fulton ISD in September of this year, where he was an educator for the Maritime Program and director of the Texas Coastal Academy. The investigation found the alleged improper relationship happened during the 2024-2025 school year and into this past summer, while Nguyen was employed as an educator. A woman's act of kindness turned deadly in Rockport. Police are investigating a fatal pedestrian crash that happened Monday evening along Business Highway 35. Officers say 53-year-old Deborah Gail Daniel had just helped an elderly man across the highway. As she started back across the road, she was hit by a vehicle. Police tried life-saving measures, but Daniel was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver, an 81-year-old woman, showed no signs of intoxication and was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Investigators are reviewing nearby surveillance video. No charges have been filed. Well, as people hit the road to visit family and friends, Victoria County Sheriff deputies are working to make sure that everyone gets to their destination safely. Deputy Amber Hume is reminding drivers to buckle up, pick a designated driver, and stay alert behind the wheel, which means watching road signs and keeping your phone out of reach. The sheriff's office says around this time last year, there were more than 10 DWI arrests and over 40 crashes. Hume says slowing down, paying attention, and making smart choices can go a long way in keeping those numbers down.
If everyone was just focused on the road, it would be very nice to not have to work crashes or arrest anybody for driving while intoxicated this holiday season, to keep everyone safe. It would mean a lot.
Hume says following these guidelines will ensure safety on the road for all. But if you are going to be out on the road early, you may have to deal with some fog. So another thing to be aware of, which means low beam, make sure your lights are on, but make sure they're low beams and just drive a little bit slower.
Yeah, definitely that, as well as the warm conditions that we're going to be seeing here for Christmas time. We did have a couple little showers though. Taking a look at the radar for today, we had about a 10 to 20% chance for some rain, relatively on the spotty side. But Beeville definitely got a little bit more than that 10 to 20%. They actually got that full bulk of it, where they got close to an inch and a half down there along the 37 corridor, just right around Corpus Christi. But for them in Beeville, right around half an inch. But other places were pretty much hit or miss. It was just kind of what we were talking about, that we were going to see these little quick showers that were going to roll through. Up in DeWitt County, though, got close to about a half an inch in the outskirts of that county over there. But you got plans for this week. We got travel plans, so fog will be picking up here for tomorrow morning. But really, the bulk of the weather is going to be along the west coast, as flooding and torrential rain, as well as some heavy snowfall, will take place up in the California mountains up there, as well as Los Angeles, going to be dealing with some very moderate to heavy showers. But for us, it's going to be more on the warm and humid side, with a couple little, let's just say, chances for some fog. But then we look to Monday, and we got a little frontal system moving in. We'll talk all about that coming up. Shawna?
Well, every year during the holidays, crossing points along the Mexico-USA border are crowded with paisanos, or travelers headed south. As Gustavo Valdez reports, thousands of vehicles, many trucks loaded to the max, wait for hours to cross into Mexico.
Hundreds of travelers from all over the United States gather at this parking lot in Eagle Pass, Texas, as they wait to cross the border.
Vámonos para México.
They are paisanos, people of Mexican descent going to Mexico for the holidays. And they don't make the journey empty-handed. Many have truckloads of stuff that they're taking to their loved ones in Mexico. Luis is going to Michoacán. He's coming all the way from California. Why are you doing this? ¿Por qué lo hace?
Porque, pues,
he says he likes to spoil his relatives with presents from the States. Rosario Ibarra is taking medical supplies for relatives and donations to local hospitals. All this cargo makes them a target once on Mexican soil. Robbery and extortion are an unfortunate reality for them. The Mexican government acknowledged the problem, and every year helps organize caravans to assist and protect them along the way. This group is going to the state of Zacatecas in central Mexico. Ivan Reyes is one of the organizers.
Lo vamos a hacer también con el acompañamiento de la Guardia Nacional.
He says the National Guard will join them all the way to Zacatecas, traveling more than 800 kilometers. Their journey starts before dawn, led by local police to an international crossing point where they wait with other paisanos who are not part of the caravan. For Juana Rivera and her family, these are the last hours in the United States.
Ya nos vamos a regresar a México.
They are retiring after more than 20 years and going back to their hometown. This pilgrimage is not unique to Eagle Pass. Tens of thousands of vehicles cross the international bridges from coast to coast in the week before Christmas. The traffic bottleneck can last hours. Miguel Tapia doesn't mind it. He's waited 31 years to return to Mexico because up until a few months ago, he was undocumented and could not leave the country.
¿Qué se siente estar tan cerca de México?
Después de tantos años como
he says he feels Mexico won't be the same he remembers. Guillermo Roman packed most of his belongings in this truck, taking even his cat because after 21 years in Texas, he's calling it quits.
Es un sabor agridulce.
He says it's a bittersweet moment. Happy he is going back, but sad he can't return, leaving behind half of his life. His parents are getting old and need help. He is undocumented. And with the current situation, he says staying in Mexico is his best option. Most of these travelers will be making the journey in reverse in a couple of weeks, full of memories and experiences that will encourage them to come back next year regardless of the challenges. Gustavo Valdez, CNN, Eagle Pass, Texas.
Crews are back on the water today searching for one person who remains missing after a Mexican Navy medical aircraft crashed into Galveston Bay. The crash happened Monday as the plane was approaching Shoals International Airport. Officials say 8 people were on board, 5 were killed, 2 survived, and the 1 remains unaccounted for. Authorities say the aircraft was on a humanitarian medical mission carrying patients, including a child burn victim headed to Shriners Hospital when thick fog limited visibility. A Vietnam War veteran accused of being a serial killer will soon have his remains removed from a Texas military cemetery. A provision in a defense bill signed by President Trump calls for the body of Fernando Cota to be disinterred from Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, where he was buried decades ago. Cota was a convicted rapist and a suspect in the murders of 6 women before he took his own life in 1984 as police tried to arrest him. The move comes after a victim's family member pushed Congress to act. Senator John Cornyn sponsored the measure, calling Cota's burial there a slap in the face to honored veterans. The disinterment is expected within the next year. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is recalling more than 55,000 Toyota vehicles nationwide. Officials say the issue involves bolts inside the inverter that may not have been tightened properly, which can lead to poor electrical contact. A fix is still being worked out, and right now it is not clear which Toyota models are affected. If you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email to staff@crossroadstoday.com. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. A major breakthrough in weight loss treatment from the FDA. We'll have the details. Plus, the pain relief method hiding in plain sight. Don't go. Hospitals across the country are reporting a dangerous surge in respiratory viruses. Health officials call it a triple-demic. In the state of New York, flu cases up 30%, RSV up 35%, and COVID up 15%. At Northwell Health Laboratories, technicians process nearly 50,000 tests a day. The most concerning trend is hospitalizations from flu. It jumped 75% in just 1 week.
Keeping a close eye on that trend, it could mean the flu is more severe. There aren't as many people getting vaccinated.
Doctors still recommend getting vaccinated, even with a new flu strain that's not a perfect match for this year's vaccine. Health experts say the shot still remains effective at preventing hospitalizations and deaths from the flu. The FDA approved a pill version of Wegovy, the first daily oral medication to treat obesity. It works like the injectable version, helping curb appetite and increasing feelings of fullness, but without the needle. The pill could be available within weeks. Experts say a daily pill could make weight loss treatment easier to access, especially for people who cannot afford or don't want injections. Clinical trials showed similar weight loss and side effects compared to the shots. A competing obesity pill from Eli Lilly is still under FDA review, with a decision expected this spring. Well, it's the time of year for spreading goodwill, and showing kindness not only helps others, but experts say it can also benefit you. Mandy Gaither talks to a doctor about how holiday kindness may actually ease chronic pain.
If you're one of the millions of Americans with pain that doesn't go away, you may find relief in medicine, but a dose of kindness may be a helpful prescription.
Kindness is really an expression of care. And what ends up happening is it can induce an incredible amount of positive emotional states.
Pain management Dr. Trishul Kapoor with Cleveland Clinic says when that positivity floods our brains, it can release feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin and can actually disrupt pain pathways and reduce overall perception of that pain.
In the same sense, kindness becomes almost sort of a life hack, and we call it the helper's high, to be able to have that same mechanism to have benefit in your overall mental health and well-being.
Kapoor says being kind can also increase levels of hormones like oxytocin, which can dilate blood vessels and lower blood pressure. And the best part is the acts of kindness that may bring relief can also be simple, like getting involved in the community, volunteering, giving financially, or giving of your time to help others. Even saying hello or greeting someone else can go a long way.
To treat any kind of condition, it's more than just medications and interventions. It needs to be treated holistically because life outside of an appointment room or a hospital is quite large, and we can't always control all of that with a medication or a specific treatment.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Kapoor says kindness also extends to yourself. He says self-compassion when you're feeling pain is a big part of being kind because when you don't appreciate yourself, you are not able to help others. To get more news, weather, and sports headlines, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. And speaking of weather, Jacob, what do we have going on?
Just another warm day is what we were looking at. 81 degrees for the high, but look at that, 84 for the record. We were about 3 degrees off. I mean, I don't know if you'd rather it be super hot or 9 degrees. I'm going to lean more to the 80 degree side of it, but we'll talk about this heat as well as some relief that's on the way coming up. Well, this house is definitely in the Christmas spirit there. Thank you to Kelly for sending this in. This is out in Port Comfort, Texas. If you'd like to send in your house, go to crossroadstoday.com, click on the menu. It'll drop down to entertainment. You can click contests and it'll take you to the link to upload your house. We have a couple more days left as Christmas is approaching here. And well, it's not feeling like Christmas here for us. I'll just say that. It's been a bit warm. We've got a bit of fog. And as of right now, we're right now in the clear, but the fog is going to be returning here for us here. So it's going to be sticking around right along the coastline and once again roll back into the region here as we go through the nighttime. Relatively dense in some portions, relatively more along the Texas coastline, of course, with the cooler waters that are helping funnel in this fog, but likely half a mile of visibility here within the peak hours of 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then by 8 a.m. we start to see it begin to dissipate here once again, and I think total clearing will take place here right around 10. And then we'll likely see it again here once again for Christmas morning. So likely what you would call, I guess, a white Christmas. In my books, I guess that's how you would call it, with the low-lying clouds. Now, 10% to 20% chance for some showers once again here for Wednesday. Is going to be relatively on the spottier side. This is based off of what Future Tracker is showing us. Just we have a little disturbance in the upper atmosphere down south around southern portions of Corpus Christi, and it's kind of helped fling in a little bit of moisture here for us to kind of have those little showers to begin to pop up here for us. But other than that, the presents are going to be feeling a bit warm here over the next couple of days. 80 degrees, not likely going to need that fireplace there in the background, but it's going to be mostly sunny with a little bit of fog in the morning. So it's not my idea for Christmas, but there is something to look forward to here. As we see the 80 degrees, we do begin to see a little bit of a drop, and a frontal system pushes in here for Sunday. This is going to help bring in the colder weather that's what we're hoping for as we start to see here by 7 a.m. on Friday. Going to continue with the cloud cover as well as the fog in the morning, but then we look up Saturday afternoon and there's the frontal system, the bit of relief and the colder air behind it, and that's going to help bring in as well a little bit of a shower or two here on the base of the front line as it pushes down south here. So looking around early Monday morning into late Saturday or Sunday night for this system to pass through, and behind it definitely some colder air. That's definitely going to be something that we're looking forward to here. But other than that, we got to get through these next couple of days of foggy mornings as well as warm conditions there in the afternoon of 81 degrees. Port Lavaca going to be seeing similar conditions as well. Winds will be coming out of the southeast on the stronger side as well. We're going to be seeing a little bit of the fog, but it'll dissipate a little bit quicker there than it does in Port Lavaca. But other than that, going to stick with the 80s, getting more into the mid 80s here for Christmas as well as Friday. And then the front rolls in, and look at that, almost about a 25-degree drop there. It's about 23 degrees there, and the winds will be definitely blowing there Monday morning at gusts of 30 miles per hour. And then we're going to be watching to see if we get that 30-degree morning again for Tuesday morning. So get those jackets ready. It's on the way. And don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. We'll send it back to Shawna.
Still to come, strong economic data could influence a key decision affecting millions of Americans. We'll have the details next. Stocks picked up value in today's trading. The Dow up 80 points, the S&P 500 up 30 points, and the Nasdaq climbed 133 points. The price of oil is up as well by 46 cents to $58.47 a barrel. The U.S. economy got an unexpected boost last quarter. New numbers from the Commerce Department show the economy grew at a strong 4.3% annual pace in the third quarter, the fastest growth in 2 years. That's even quicker than the previous quarter. Consumer spending and exports helped drive that growth. That strong showing could also mean the Federal Reserve has less reason to cut interest rates when it meets again next month. Consumer confidence is down this month, according to the latest survey from the Conference Board. Consumer confidence fell 3.8 points from November to 89.1. That's the lowest reading since April, when President Trump introduced his Liberation Day tariffs. The monthly report showed consumers' views of their family's current financial situation dipped into negative territory for the first time in nearly 4 years. Consumers across all income levels also expressed more concern about the state of the labor market, with the unemployment rate recently hitting a 4-year high. Well, the United States Postal Service handles its busiest week of the year as workers race to deliver packages before Christmas. Mail carriers carry double their normal load. The Postal Service adds 14,000 seasonal employees and 614 new machines nationwide to handle the holiday rush. Postal workers deliver their 9 billionth package this holiday season. That was in Connecticut. Despite the overtime hours, carriers say they welcome the boost in business and the holiday spirit from grateful customers. Well, a Massachusetts town faces an unusual problem. Too much of something most people love. We'll take a look at the sweet dilemma causing concern next.
As millions travel for the holidays, tracking snow in the Northeast and dangerous flooding in the West. Plus, the new numbers just in about the U.S. economy, what they could mean for you and your family. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
It turns out there can be too much of a good thing, especially when it smells like donuts. Some residents in Haverhill, Massachusetts say a new Dunkin' factory is pumping out so much sugary aroma that it's becoming overwhelming. The massive bakery, which is the largest Dunkin' facility in the country, makes about 1 million donuts a day for more than 200 stores. City leaders say neighbors are worried about air quality, not just the cravings. Health inspectors are now checking things out, and the city council plans to revisit the issue next month. So far, Dunkin' and the company that runs the plant have not commented. One of those things, you love the smell of donuts or coffee or whatever it is in the morning, but yeah, it can be a little overwhelming if you're smelling it all the time.
I was trying to figure out how long I could last just smelling donuts. I think I'd last very long.
I think I would be hungry all the time.
Yes,
I
definitely.
Always would be looking for something to eat.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Even
it
if it's not a donut.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're not going to be smelling donuts anytime soon here. Those winds up from the north are going to continue blowing out towards the southeast up there in Massachusetts. As for us, we're going to continue seeing that southeasterly breeze. Going to be feeling a little bit humid with a bit of fog as well. And temperatures, you know, it's going to be feeling like spring again, especially here for Christmas. We're getting up to 82, but we do look to Sunday night. Temperatures back to normal there once we get that cold front rolling in. So it's something we can look forward to. Don't put those jackets up just yet.
All right, well, we might want some sort of cold breakfast instead of a hot breakfast.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know,
that would help
milk
out.
and cereal or something like that. So. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for 25 News Now at 6.